Here, and thanks for joining with us today. I plan on having a very wonderful webinar today, and thanks for joining, taking your time to join with us. It's going to be extremely valuable for you, especially if you're a really serious trader with a career-oriented mood towards trading in mind. And even if you're just new to trading or you're curious, you're going to learn a lot today, more than you'd learn anywhere else just combing around in the web. I can guarantee you that. I've been trading for 30 years. My name is Mohan, and I've been around the world 19 times and landed back here in beautiful Southern California, running my trading service and running Boomerang Trader. I'm going to talk about those with you, but first of all, please read the risk disclosure statement and understand that futures trading is risky and only risk capital should be used to trade with futures. And risk capital is defined as money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle. That means if you had 10 grand and you went out there and lost it in trading futures, it might sting a little, but you wouldn't really blink an eye much beyond that. It's like you got plenty of extra money and it's not a big deal. Now, we don't lose at trading in our room. You're going to have some days that are a little rougher than others, but overall, in the services I'm going to show you, we make steady winning trades in the 70 to 90 percentage area. I'm going to show that to you. I think you're going to get quite excited. You found a real deal here, and it's time to take it serious if you want to be a trader and work at home. So, what are the advantages of trading? Well, number one, your office commute is about 2 minutes. That's from your bedroom or kitchen or bathroom or wherever you are down to your trading office. You should definitely have a separate trading office unless you live alone. That's fine. Then you can just trade anywhere you want. But if you have a family or extra people with you there, it's always nice if you can have a separate trading room that you can close the door and absolutely have no disturbance, and maybe hang a sign out that says trading now, do not disturb, do not knock, no telephone calls, stuff like that. These are little tricks that I've learned over the years. So you want to have a separate trading office, and that's what this seminar is going to be about. Initially, I'm going to speak for about 40 minutes. It's going to be pretty fast paced. And good morning, Larry. Good to see you there. Larry's saying good morning or good afternoon. Good day. I forget what time it is because I trade around the clock. I'm researching till late at night, then up early running my trading room. So sometimes, honestly, and then I took a nap before I did this seminar here today. I was a little tired, and so I forget what time it is. I swear to God, I do. But I do know now that I did start the webinar on time. So that's our first good sign that Mohan does know what time it is. Anyway, the services that we offer are quite tremendous. And what I'm showing you here today, this is a screenshot of what my trading room looks like and what I trade like, even if I'm not running the room. Like on Fridays, if I decide to trade, I still have all this stuff up here. And I'm going to encourage you highly and recommend that you do the same. I'll show you real briefly what we have, and then I'll give you a report that'll consolidate everything into one report you can read and study. First of all, this is what I call the high five right here: the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the Composite Index, Transportation Index, the Trend, and the overall New York Stock Exchange Advanced Decline ratio, which is shown here at $ADD. Now, I'm powering my charts with E-Signal, which I have for over 20 years. I love the company. They're so reliable and so accurate. And we love NinjaTrader too, because NinjaTrader are in my view, the best looking charts out there. They're just crystal clear, and it gives me opportunities to apply a lot of different things to the charts to give myself a lot of important information when I'm deciding to make a trade. So that's what we have here, the high five. Below that here, I just have added in, because we trade the NASDAQ in my room every day, the Day Traders Action Live room, which I'll talk about in a second. And this is a NASDAQ chart up here, symbol NQ. And this is a crude oil chart up here. Those are the two primary contracts that we trade in the Day Traders Action Room. And again, more on that later, but I want to show you this. So I do have the advanced decline line right here for the NASDAQ as well. It's usually percentage-wise pretty similar, but I like to make sure and glance at it to make sure, because A lot of times, and especially like yesterday, for example, this goofy NASDAQ is just flying off the handle, whereas the rest of the market's maybe up, but like yesterday, but a little more tame. But that NASDAQ is just going bonkers. So it's kind of becoming its own animal. If you like to trade stock index futures and you want something closer correlated, yeah, the ES is all right, but it moves, it's such a huge contract that it moves in smaller increments for swing trading, and there's a lot of manipulation in that contract because of the size, that's the only place the big hedge fund guys and stuff can go. So maybe they're long the market, right? But they want to hedge that position as it moves higher. They may put on 1,000 ES contracts, and you see the market drop when they do that, and you go, "Oh my God, it's going down." No, it's a big giant hedge fund hedging their long position. They're really net long. So you see what I mean? There's stuff like that going on, whereas they can't really do that on the mini Dow or the NASDAQ, because mini NAS, as you can see down here, this is brings me to the next thing here. This is a volume chart. Now, if you're not trading with volume in front of you at all times, you're driving a car without a gas tank. You're clueless. And I'm sorry to say that. A little tough love here on the webinar today, but it's good for you. I'm just trying to speed you up and get you up to speed, get you in fighting shape. So when you step into the cage for a cage fight with the market, you're going to be know how to do it. You're going to have all the tools you need. Another good example, a car without a gas gauge would be going into a cage fight without sufficient protection on your hands and stuff like that. And I mean, you know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to make a point. The thing is here, if you look at this contract here, here's a 700 average. This is a 4 period contract. In other words, the price averaged over 4 minutes because it's a 1 minute chart. 4 period means averaged over 4 minutes, and that's what these histogram bars are showing. This is the 700 contract level right here. This is the 300 contract level. So as I scroll this back, notice how when it quiets up a little, it dips under the 300 level, and when it gets a little more rambunctious, you start perking up a little. But I want you to note that, notice incurring this period today, the average is 300 to 400 contracts. You're not going to get a hedge fund going to come in there because he can blow that up in one click of the mouse, if he want. So that he has no way really to hedge NAS other than with options and sophisticated butterfly strategies and things which are very effective, and inverse ETFs. And he can put options on, like you can have not to get too complex here, but you can have an inverse NASDAQ ETF such as QID, and that's going to make money as NASDAQ goes down, and you can short that, meaning you got a net, you're trying to create a sort of a synthetic long position. I don't do stuff like that, but as a hedge fund manager myself, a private hedge fund manager, I can say that I'm somewhat familiar with these ideas and enough to share them with you. We're not going to talk about that complex stuff today. It gives me a headache, frankly. And the famous trader Larry Williams once was asked about options. He said, I just really don't trade them because I don't understand them. Now, this guy, Larry Williams, he is a legend in our futures industry. He's completely brilliant. He's developed his own indicators that are very famous and well known. They're on all of the trading platforms. I'm sure you have a trading platform with your futures, even if it's with a brokerage or whatever, they're going to have a list of indicators. You're going to find Larry Williams indicators in there. He's so famous, and he said that not too long ago. I heard him personally say, he goes, I just don't understand options. So honestly, that gave me a little break because I was always struggling to really understand him myself. And here was a guy I really admire saying he didn't understand him, he doesn't trade him. So I thought, okay, I'm not the only one. It just, I can understand them at a certain level to put on naked puts and calls. That's good. I think the market's going up. I'm going to buy some calls here. But the point is, and we've done those in the room with great success, but I'm just trying to sidetrack a little and tell you about the things that we do here at Day Traders Action. So right now I'm showing you the volume meter. You must have a volume meter. This is the individual volume for every minute. Red candles are bearish and green candles are buying, essentially buying force coming in. And this is a 4 period average. So this is what we use. Now up here you have some, excuse me, you have the live ES That's the E-mini S&P, which I use to crunch a lot of numbers. I use the ES to crunch my numbers in what I call my homework every night to come up with the underlying bias. And in fact, that is the theme of today's webinar is VUU, volatility, underlying bias, and understanding the bigger bias picture and why we're getting all this volatility and why the underlying bias is shifting, because you can see so far at least they're not doing these strong pullbacks after a couple days up. So more on that later. But let me show you all of our services. It'll just take a minute. And I got some good news for you. I've got some exciting stock picks for you today. That's a part of our Day Traders Action service. I have a real conservative one, two that are real conservative, one that's a little less conservative involved with the oil market, which I think you might want to look to get into now. The oil market, when everybody thought it was going to go down, it's cranking up. So good opportunity to earn 9% dividend in something that's very safe. So anyway, I'll get back to you on that in a second. So volume meter, high five, ES, NASDAQ, crude oil, gold, dollar, which are going to run generally dollar down, gold up, dollar down, vice versa, down, gold, dollar, because the dollar is rallying, stuff like that. So you can kind of watch these. You need to have a regular data vendor for that, whether you use eSignal, which I highly recommend, extremely reliable, and there are others too that are good you can use. Ninja Traders Kinetic comes to mind. You can use Kinetic, very good service. One of the lower cost data vendors too, so you can save some money. eSignal runs about $100, 110 a month, and I think Kinetic's right around 60, stuff like that. So again, that's what I just gave you. You may not understand this if you're new to trading, because I'm giving you a lot of information. But just now, finishing this little segment of the webinar today, I have given you some extremely valuable information. So I hope you took notes and realize that everything I'm giving you is coming from 30 years of experience. In fact, just to quickly digress on that, here is a picture of me giving a live seminar back before webinars like we have now. You had to go give a live seminar, and I was very popular, still am. And on this seminar, I had 320 traders fly in from around the globe. Now they got to take the time out. A lot of them were from Europe. We had a couple Russian friends, and from all over the world, South America, and they had to get on a plane and fly quite a distance to come to this 2-day seminar that I gave. It was only for 2 days. They had to stay in a fancy hotel and pay the nightly. I think the Marriott at that time is running $250 a night. So you can see the massive effort they had to go to come see this guy with the long hair, and the suit on. That's me right there. My hair's a little longer now than it is then than it is now, but I don't know. I'm a rock and roller. I grew up playing rock and roll in bands and stuff, so I've always kind of had the rock and roll look, and I figured, well, this is trading. I've never seen rock and roll like this stuff. So I've kept the rock and roll image. So there's pictures there proving I like everything I say to you today, and going forward I can prove to you easily and show you the proof of what I'm saying, including the 70 to 90% winning trades we have live in the room that I call out, and the 80 to 90% live trades on Boomerang with crude oil and other contracts. Again, I slowed down to say that. I wanted you to hold on your hat. If you're searching around to find futures trading, I can tell you right now, you can save your time. That's what I'm trying to do in this webinar. You will not find any services like ours that have 70 to 80 to 90% winning trades. Did you catch that? You can screw around and waste all the time you want. You can spend years with all these fancy dancy services coming in your email box that are mostly BS. Ask them if they get 80 to 90% winning trades on their stock picks, their software, their live room, whatever. Just ask them that and say, now you better tell me the truth, because the big boys are watching, right? And if they say, well, blah, 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 well, nobody can get that, well, then you hang up on them or end the email and come over to our site. But you're already here, so stick around, and I'm going to do everything I can to really help you take futures trading serious, so you can do what? Go to work in the morning for 2 to 3 hours, have the rest of the day off, a 3-day weekend every week and make up to $300 to $1,000 a day. That's our primary theme. Now, who would have the audacity to say something like that unless they actually did that and can
Order
prove that they
pending.
did that on most trading days? Well, he's standing up here at this seminar with 320 people that flew in from around the globe, including professional floor traders from Chicago. There's over a dozen of them there. I walked up and met them and talked to them, and they're like, "Yeah, we're here." And I go, "Okay." I knew what they were there for. They were there because they knew how popular I was, and they saw that big crowd, and they're licking their lips because they thought we're going to fade this guy. That's a broker floor trader term. There's not a lot of floor traders around anymore, but that's a term that means when his subscribers buy based on a signal from his newsletter, which of course we're going to pay and subscribe to, we're going to go short and fade them. And when they go short, we're going to go long because that many people piling on is going to have a problem. At least that's what they're thinking. Well, if they try to pull that, they got
Order
their heads handed
pending.
to them because we were very successful with our newsletter up until around 2015 because I'd publish it every night. It'd come in their mailbox. I'd say the market's going to open higher, run up higher to this number, and then fade means fall back and then reverse and go back lower. And I would call exact crystal clear calls like that every day for over 17, 16 years in a row. It got so erratic 2 years ago that I finally said, I really only want to do this under a live market scenario. That way we can stay on top of it every second. And if something shifts or whatever, I can do it. I was still making accurate calls, but it just, I felt, wasn't fair to someone buying a call that was done the night before coming into the market, because a lot of times what they do now, say for example, today was a classic example. I did all my homework every night, my 18 proprietary
Order
indicators and
pending.
everything, and I told everybody in the room, I said the market's going to have, yesterday we just blew it up to the moon and they wouldn't even pull it back until 10 minutes before they closed, then they let it pull back. So it was one of those oddball days that occurs every couple months. Very difficult to trade those days because they don't really trade. They just go straight up and they go in these goosey, spiky upside markets. And I know you're shaking your head yes right now if you were in that action yesterday on NASDAQ. Ridiculous. But I'll explain to you a little bit later in the seminar here why it did that. Anyway, so we also had 20 brokers. I talked to them. I knew who they were. And I heard others say, yeah, he's here and he's here. Yeah, and Johnny's here. And it was like amazing. I mean, we had out of 320 people, like 10% of that was brokers and floor traders. So I'm just trying to create a little bit of a credibility here so you can see you're not talking to some junior clown who just knows how to work the internet and stuff. So he created some fancy indicators. He doesn't know how to trade. He doesn't, but they look good, so he sells them to you, right, for $300, $400, and he pays his mortgage, suckering you into buying indicators when he doesn't even know anything. So anyway, this is kind of people I hang out with: professional traders and a lot of experienced traders and a lot of new traders. We welcome the new traders. We're trying to help the new traders. That's why my services are so low. What do you think you'd pay to make 500 average dollars a day, 4 days a week, all the time, regularly?
Order pending.
Well, guess what? Our room is one of the lowest cost rooms in the industry, only $149 a month. You can try it out. Start out with, if you're new to the room, you can start out with a discounted 39 bucks for the first 2 weeks, and then it goes into the regular subscription. But that's peanuts compared to what you're going to be making. Now, if you're afraid to trade, and you come in the room just as a looky-loo, but you know in your heart of hearts you're afraid to trade, well, I respect that. Don't worry, I've got a solution for you. Just go over to my Mohan's Day Traders Action live trading room. Right there. There I am, all dapper in my suit. Go if you're afraid to trade, you can spend the 39 bucks, but I really don't want you to join and then cancel in 2 weeks. I really don't. I'd rather you just forget about it. You're not ready. Just stay away. Go to my live trading room uh, room over here on YouTube and take a look at the hundreds and hundreds of trades that we have on here. Winners, losers, everything. I didn't just put winners on here to impress you so I could get your money. I don't need your money, to be honest with you. I'm a private hedge fund manager, as I told you. There's plenty of money here, but if I'm going to run this business, I need you to sign up for services to keep it going, right? Isn't that just common sense? If you have a business, you need customers. So what I'm doing is I'm giving out a lot of information to help speed you up because I like new traders. I admire your gumption, wanting to get into this action, and I want to help you. I want to help you get it together. And if you want to decide to do this, join with us first. You can experiment and look around later rather than waste 2 or 3 years experimenting, losing a bunch of money, then coming back going, God, I should have just started out with Mohan. Start at the top. You'll probably never go to anything else once you learn our stuff, but start at the top for God's sakes. Learn from the best and kick some ass while you're out there in the markets. Get some money. Get your neurological system adjusted to feeling what it's like to be a real trader and make money. Does that make sense? If you've studied stuff like neurolinguistic programming or the master of neurolinguistic programming, Anthony Robbins, if you studied his stuff, you want to feel this in your nerves and your daily work. And you want to, when you have a loss, it's okay because you've just had 5 winners. Oh, you had a loss. You get to feel what that's like. But when you're just screwing around, going from webinar to webinar and trying this, trying a little bit of that, I got this guy's indicator here, and I got this guy's indicator here, and I got this, and I got 5 of them all crammed on my charts, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You see what I mean? And you know who I'm talking to. It's you if you're that person. I'm just here to help you. And now you get a big loss because you didn't do what? You didn't put a stop in. I was talking to a guy the other day I ran into downtown near where I live. I know him a long time. And the broker, and he's telling me, I'm trading now and doing all this stuff. And he goes, but I put on a trade and I forgot to put a stop on. I go, forgot? You should know this stuff. Well, he got hammered on the trade, and it was like, I'm going, yeah, we're just kind of shucking and jiving about, yeah, can't go without a stop. That's not good. We'll talk about in a minute how we do that with Boomerang. Anyway, here's my room. You can sign up, scroll down, and we explain to you all about it here. Just click on this red link, sign up for 39 bucks. Hey, it's a good charity, it's a good cause. It's called Keep Mohan's Services Going, so he doesn't go do stuff, just trade on his own and run his hedge fund, which, I like it. I still got a lot of energy and I'm ready to do all this stuff right now, but I'm here now. I don't know where I'll be in 10 years, but I'm here now and I can help you really learn how to trade if you're serious. That brings us to the next phase here. You can watch this video if you want. That'll see me watch me make 3 live winning trades in a row. Again, everything I say, I can prove it to you. Go on my YouTube channel and you can see all kinds of trades right live from the room. Here's one that I posted just the other day, 30.5 points. Last month, 30.5 point swing trade. Here's some real recent ones: 410 for 1475, 411 for 13.5 points. These are real trades called out live. You can see them pan out. It's just a recording of what was happening live in the charts. All right, so now getting back quickly to just to recap this segment of the webinar. In my site here, this is my site, daytradersaction.com. Gee, what an appropriate name. That's what we do. We're day traders and we want action, because if you're in a dead market, that you're not going to day trade, you're going to just sit there and get confused. You want action. You want that thing moving. You want to go in there and arm wrestle with whoever's on the other side of your trade. I'm going to show you how to get on the right side most of the time. We can't guarantee you'll always be on the side the right time, but I don't have to tell professionals or even, intermediate traders that. Baby beginners, you have to tell them all the time there's no guarantees, because they just get stars in their eyes no matter what you're selling them. It could be a new laundry soap and they get stars in their eyes. But futures trading, oh my God, look at all the buku bucks. You go, oh God, never use that word in my presence. This is about preserving capital, learning how to trade before you even click one single thing on the mouse. So we show you how to do that with the different services I'm showing you. Join the room. come on in and just write down the trades or draw a horizontal line on the chart. That's one way. And just get for 2 weeks, build your own tracker record and go, yep, he really does know how to trade. Then you'll be saving yourself literally. I've seen We've trained over 50,000 traders. I've seen thousands of traders waste their time. Well, this guy's got some cool looking stuff, and this guy's got some stuff. This gal over here, she's the Fibonacci queen. I'm going, yeah, but you don't know anything. She's never made money. Maybe a couple trades, but she's been around so long they got the Fibonacci queen. Well, I got to try her. Dear God. I just want to make money. We're all about the cash at Day Traders Action, and this seminar here today is all about cash. It's not about being a brainy, you know, market analyst. That's an admirable thing if you're a consultant for a large mutual fund or something, but that's not what this is about. This is about paying the mortgage, paying the bills, and having some extra cash to party on. This is total rock and roll here. That's what we're about. So here's what I want to say. Okay, you saw this, you said, wow, you're talking so fast, and you plowed right through all that stuff. Don't worry, I got you covered. How to read the market like a book. Just go to my site, daytradersaction.com. Click on how to read the market like a book. One click of the mouse, and you've got everything I've showed you, not only cons- um, consolidated, but with nice explanations, everything. And of course, my humor, my wonderful humor, spliced in the middle of it all. How to read the sidewalk bias view of the market. It shows you how to read these things up here, not just get them on a data vendor. This is called a quote page. That's what they're called. You get a data vendor and you go create a quote page. Then this will show you exactly how to do that. Here's the high five. Here's how to build the quote page. Here's the readings for the high five to know when the market underlying is bullish or bearish on the sidewalk bias view. In other words, when you're looking, here's what I want you to understand. If you're standing in the middle of New York, you ever seen like that guy in his underwear playing the guitar right down the center of New York? I don't know if he's still around, but you got to admire him. It gets so darn cold, and he's out there with no shirt and just his underwear on, and I don't know, maybe he's looking for girlfriends. I don't think he's that good of a guitar player, but whatever. I kind of admire him for being a little bit crazy, right? Kind of like that once in a while. You got to be a little bit crazy to trade futures. Let's all be honest now, don't you? A little bit. Yep. Stepping into the ring with a tiger, right? That's sane? I don't know. Anyway, the point is, where he's standing on the sidewalk with his guitar, he looks around, he can see what's going on. He can see certain people over here and this people here, and here comes some tourists from Japan. That's nice. Bow, little Tim. Here's some Chinese people. Ni ha, how are you? And then here's some folks coming over. And now put yourself up in a helicopter going over, like the police helicopter, checking around to make sure there's nothing too weird going on, being able to handle an emergency. They're in a helicopter. And look at their bias or view of the street. Whoa, totally different view. Same thing, same people, same everything, but they got a different view of what's going on. Now picture a jet coming into LaGuardia way up above the scene, and you look out the window if you're familiar with New York, and you look down and you go, yep, that's where, the whole center of the action is there. That's where they got that big billboard and they're posting stock quotes on there, the whole thing. Well, picture that, and it looks like a little speck at first, and then as you get close to the airport you can see it, but you're way above the helicopter. So this is how to use these high five and other tools that I'll give you to read the bias of the market, especially that airport or that airplane bias. That's a little bit of what I'm going to talk about a little bit today. Art of synthesizing the high five. It's a little heady, this stuff, but I've written basically a small book on how to understand the surface bias of the market using the higher time frames, the advanced decline line, the high five, all these different tools. If you're not using this stuff and you're just trading off a chart that your broker gave you, you're getting set up to lose a lot of money. You don't get it. You don't understand. You got at least, please, pretty please, get a volume meter running on your charts. They're so easy to build. It shows you right here the steps. And what I want you to do is eliminate this bottom indicator. I haven't changed it yet. I'm just too lazy. This is brilliant indicator, ADX indicator, used by Wells Wilder. I was using it in this histogram form, but I've eliminated that. It's real simple now. As you can see, it's just individual 1 minute volume and the 4 period volume. So when you're going to this page, which I know you are because you're a serious trader, and you're going to build a volume meter, just eliminate the part here, number 4, add ADX using a 14 period. Just eliminate that, do the rest. And number 6, add constant lines, the ADX. Just forget all that. How to interpret the volume meter, how to use it, advanced studies. It's all here in this report, and it's free. It's right on my site there. And while you're on the site, why not sign up so you can get notices from me? And right here, usual stuff, name and email, and go. And that way, when something's coming up, I can send you a message and you can get involved with something here. Now, one thing I have that I haven't seen on any other trading sites, they may have little dibble dabbles of them, but I got to show you this. And that is, I'm telling you, traders' mindset. You're working with all these tools, right? You're learning how to use your brokerage platform, all this stuff, right? Well, do you know how to use your brain on trading? Are you sure? Well, one simple way, and I have several, I have a nice article on it, but one way is through the use of affirmations. Well, just to soften it up a little bit, I made a beautiful video of a helicopter ride I took cruising through the lovely jungles of Kauai in Hawaii, and I overspliced it some very dramatic music. Don't mind, it's beautiful music, it's very dramatic, just like trading is, and flying in a helicopter over this beautiful place. I mean, your jaw's hanging open over the whole time, right? Anyway, I've made a beautiful video which you'll enjoy seeing the inside of Kauai. You can only get there if you hike in there for 2 days, and you got to rough it and backpack and all that, but it's totally beautiful. And then after that, you can go right to my affirmations here. Here's my top 10 favorites. Emotions can kill successful trading. The more I follow my proven rules, the more I trust myself. That's called learning to train your brain on trading. It's called trusting yourself. How many of you said, I thought I was going to get long there, but somebody else inside of my brain said, no, wait, don't take it. And then you didn't get in, and the market shot straight up, and you're kicking yourself. So now you got those two people beating each other up. You got to learn how to manage your brain as a trader. Otherwise, you're doomed. The better I focus on the task at hand, I am a fearless trader trading fearless money. Two key things here. Fearless because you know what the hell you're doing, and fearless money means risk capital. I can lose it and I don't care. I don't want to lose it, but it's not going to destroy my life, ruin my marriage, and not send little Johnny to college when he gets ready. See what I mean? I've had a few of those. I've had ruined marriages, and I've had blown out Johnny's college fund, which usually goes to part B, which is ruined marriage. How could you do this? I thought I knew where the market was going. I had a gut feel. I had a gut feel and an intuition mood that was telling me this thing's going up until it crashed. And I forgot to put stops in. You with me? I'm trying to help you prevent that. A little more tough love here, but good stuff. Good tough love. Well, not only that, did I give you my top 10? I gave you a whole book of affirmations that are complete rock and roll affirmations that are going to get you on the right side of your brain and get you in the right mood. Trading is simply a pattern solving exercise. Literally a chess game with the markets. I tell our traders this every day as I read a morning script just to make sure everybody understands what we're doing, because we get a lot of new traders coming in all the time, so I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. And I say, welcome, and please join us for the long term for this wild journey we are on. Literally a chess game with the markets. I say this exact word. That is literally what we're doing every day. More on that coming up in a minute, and I'll be done with the webinar soon. Hey, look at that. I didn't just give you a few affirmations. These are all trading affirmations and life affirmations. I
Order
gave you a whole
pending.
book. How's that for a pal? You start memorizing these. Pick out your top 20 and read them every day without fail before you click on that platform. Please do that. Go through this tonight. Find your top 20. Maybe some of mine are your top 20. Go through this. Do the homework. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. You're just going to screw yourself over. You're going to lose a lot of money, and you're going to be kicking yourself. And then if you're an egotist, you're going to make excuses why Mohan's full of crap, and I don't need all this psycho mumbo jumbo. I'm a tough dude. I can take it. Yeah, well, we'll see you when you blow 20 grand out. We'll see you come back with your tail wagging and start taking us a little bit serious around here at Mohan at Day Traders Action. I appreciate it. Just trying to save you some money, maybe save you a marriage. I've done it before. I've actually, as far as I can tell from the emails I've gotten back, I did save marriages. How do you like that? I told the guy, look, I'm no psychotherapist. I'm just telling you, stop trading. That was my advice. I saved his marriage. You know what I told him to do? Stop trading. You don't know what the hell you're doing. For Christ's sakes, stop trading and learn how to trade. So maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but I think he's still married. I had about 3 or 4 of them. It's been a lot of years, 18 years and 50,000 traders, so you can imagine. Anyway, so I'm going to move away from that now. Next, I want to show you, this is our primary services, Boomerang Day Trader. First, let me show you the crude oil. Now, this is going to go fast because I'm going to speed up a little. Don't mind. All this stuff is going to be recorded, and I have lots of webinar recordings how to trade crude oil on Boomerang. First of all, on crude oil, we're using a classic standard 450 tick chart on crude oil and on the NASDAQ chart because Boomerang works on NAS too. In the room though, I use 3 or 4 other setups which are called crunches, exhaustion, reversals on the buy and sell side, and various other things. So, and I don't teach how to use those. But Boomerang works on NASDAQ. Here's a winning NAS trade here. You got a sell channel opening up. We wait for the candle to close. We watch for the Cobra, that's this red line, to move under this orange line. You watch for more bias force. Watch for these dynamic trend bands. That's this thicker line and this dashed dotted line. Matching color of the sell color, the reddish color, red candles, right? We look for a tap on the Bollinger Band in this case, and I've got a new advanced way of doing that now. I'll pull back the signal line at 55.75 and the market gets crunched here all the way down 10 handles just like that. Now right now the US stock indexes are still in high volatility turf. I thought they'd back off after that crash a couple months ago, which by the way I called in our room 2 days before it happened. I told everybody sell all your stocks, or if you can't stand to do that, sell at least 2/3 of them and buy these inverse funds, namely QID and SDS. Those are short ETFs. When the market goes down, those make money. Well, I held those through the crash and they protected our portfolios. I sold a ton of stocks. I did what I said. I did my own advice, sold 2/3 of them. And now I've started loading them back up. That's another story. You'll have to join the room to hear about that. It's too much here right now to talk about. So there's a winning trade in crude oil or NAS, and right over here, this one happened today, and we quoted this in the room here because we track them, and then we got a lot of Boomerang traders in the live room who join just to trade crude oil with us and watch how I watch the trades up. So you're constantly on any updates or anything that's happening. Now what happened here, I'll just show you this one real quick, not to confuse. Well, let me show you a standard one first, because it's a little easier to understand. Okay, here, classic standard, right after the US market open, a buy channel opens up, the dynamic trend bands both match colors, so they either cross over on the same side. In other words, the thin dashed dotted line crosses up over this thicker one, and or they've already crossed, like this one crossed over a little early, and they're matching colors. And this is a new tool, better than the Bollinger Bands. It's called the price pressure bands. It's actually not a Bollinger Band. It's actually better. It looks like one, but it actually measures the market force going into the market. And look at this. Price pressure bands are open. The arrow showing the new buy channel opened up. It's shaded in green. You can see that. The dynamic trend bands match, and we use a third indicator, which is this orange line. It's called the price filter. It's an additional filter. I don't want losing trades. I hate losing trades. I want to make sure that trade wins. So all these factors are in place. Pull back to the signal line. That's these blue dots and the red, yellow one I showed over here for that NASDAQ 10-point trade. I happened to just grab this one and go to it. Was actually, we wouldn't have taken this trade most likely because it was very close to the close of the day, but I just wanted to show you on the charts. They happen all day long, so it's not a big deal. Pull back to the blue dots for the buy at 87, and all we're doing on our NASDAQ system is scalping 8 to 10 ticks. 88 jumps up right over here to 01, which is 10 ticks on this move here. No pressure on the entry, but sometimes there is. But get this, our stops that we do, and I teach you how to do in the live trading room on crude oil with 90% ongoing winning trade signals. We use a hardcore 13 tick, what I call an airbag stop, but I haven't hit one of those in over a year live in the room. I have a method that we deploy that allows us to keep that stop normally within 3 to 6 ticks. So you can trade relatively fearlessly. You're going to have 80 to 90% winning trades, or what I like to say, up to 90% winning trades, and tight stops. Where's the fear in that? Now you're doing your affirmations, and you got a system that when you do those affirmations, they make sense. When you're doing affirmations, you don't know how to trade and you're just throwing money down the toilet and you're shaking and you're nervous and you're upset. Affirmations aren't going to help you. They're going to help you get on the right track. One of our affirmations, I always and only trade with a proven winning system. How's that for an affirmation? I only trade with a proven winning system. One that I've seen work over and over and over, that I've taken those trades live or marked them on my simulator, whatever, that I've proven and seen. I only trade a proven winning trade system. So all your other affirmations are going to help you because you're going to reaffirm what you're already doing with Boomerang. So we offer daily training. I train this method I just showed you 3 to 4 to 5 times. Now look at this, by the way, just a quick side note. You can buy from me these price pressure bands. You can put on any chart you want, any time frame. But look at this. Okay, so the market starts out right here. The price pressure bands opened up means this dashed line crossed this thick white line here. See that? They opened up right here. And look at this. When the market petered out right above this candle, that last jolt up here, look what happened. They crossed under. The move's over for now. That doesn't mean you can't have a continuation move, but at least on this run up, you're done. And they pulled back and they jumped up a little bit and they pulled back and then they jumped up again. But the point is, when we're scalping, we just want to get in there and get that paycheck. So we want to go in there and grab that trade there, grab that 8 to 10 ticks on our crude oil method and get the heck out. If you held for a longer trade, at least up here, you're going to see those price pressure bands squeezed together. You get the heck out. You can use them alone as a singular indicator, and I can practically guarantee you it's going to improve your trading 100% just using the price pressure bands. Only $195 to improve your trading dramatically. Isn't that a little bit worth it? Look at this. Same thing here. This was a big spiky run-up. Crude oil was nuts today. And I got something more on that in a second, how you can invest in crude oil in a really safe way and get 9% return on your money, which is 8 times more than the banks pay. Okay, look at this though. They just spiked them up and they're running up, but you still, the price pressure band's open. You got to pull back the signal line, and they still ran up. 23 ran up to 34. We're just scalping 10 ticks. Crude oil's a fast market, but look at that. They ran up, and what happened right here? That's right, the price pressure bands closed, and it was exactly in the top candle, and then they collapsed. Now, I know you tricky Rambo type traders like me are looking at that going, hey, I'll bet I could have shorted that there. Well, now wait a second. I didn't tell you to do that, but I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not saying you can't do that, and I'm not saying that I don't sometimes when I see that as one of my setups. The price pressure band's closed, and I want to get short. Gee, do you think that gives me a little more confidence in shorting? Yes. Anyway, quick training on Boomerang. Boomerang is our core product. Boomerang, listen to this, please. Boomerang has been around for 10 years. Did you hear that? Boomerang has been around as a top seller for 10 years with 80 to 90% winning trade signals like the ones I just showed you. I just showed you two on crude oil, showed you this one on NAS. We have audit videos on the blog that you can watch that show. A, I haven't had one in a while because they're a little bit time. I don't mind doing them, but I just haven't really. I like doing the ones we're doing now to show you our different services. But I just want you to see that over on the Boomerang blog. Let me bring that up real quick here. Whoops, here it is. There it is. Okay. I just want to show you this. We do have audit videos you can watch right now. They're a little older, but the method for crude oil hasn't changed. You just go to boomerangtrader.com. If this is of interest to you, go to the resources section. Scroll down. Well, there's the price pressure bands, by the way. 195 bucks shows you exactly how to use them, and we show you exactly how to use them before you even buy them. I've seen other sites, they want $300-400 for indicator, and they say they got two lines. This indicator does this and that. It's incredible. Da da da. $400, please. Sometimes they'll put a video on there. Most of the videos are worthless. They're real quick and they don't tell you. We show you everything you want to know about them first. And you can always come into my room and watch them in live in action on the crude oil. I got a couple secret weapons here. My price momentum indicator and volume momentum indicator. They're my secret weapons I kept secret for 10 years and I just released them recently. Let me tell you something. You got two things in trading. If you want to simplify things, you got two things: price and the momentum of the price and volume. You have the momentum of the volume and they have the momentum of the price. So if you have a and they're the only ones in the market. I've never seen any. I had to invent them because I couldn't find any. Price momentum indicator known as Primo, price momentum, and volume momentum, otherwise affectionately known as Volmo. So the two elements in the market, there's a few other things, of course, but basically it's price movement and volume movement. So if you can track the momentum of the volume, you can get into the price because volume front runs the price in most cases. So if you can see the volume shifting and you see the momentum shift in volume, but prices are still running up, guess what? In many cases, after some practice and learning how to use these tools, you can short into that run up and watch it come collapsing back because you see in advance the volume shifting. You go, the market's running up. It's all the Johnny come latelys diving in at the last minute, and the volume shifting. The pros are dumping the stock or the index or whatever it is you're watching, and they're getting out. Works on stocks, futures, ETFs, everything. What I wanted to show you though is, and I got some articles from Traders World Magazine and other things you can read, very interesting. But here's an audit of Boomerang for the period of March to April. Yeah, it was last year, but it's the same essential thing. Well, this was on NASDAQ before all this volatility hit us. It was during a volatile period. It was still the Trump train was rocking and rolling. Then the Fed stepped in right after this period, about 6 months later, and started, well, about 3 months later, and started goosing the market up, fearing the Trump train would run out of steam because they wanted to crank those interest rates up. I told everybody this way back at the beginning of 2017. They're going to goose the market up after the Trump train runs out of steam, which I anticipated did around maybe June or so, July. Well, they came in and just did a historic, what I call a goosing of the market. I got that from a big hedge fund trader they called Janet Yellen. She's not a dove or a hawk, she's a goose. Because they're just creating money out of thin air and driving the market up. Well, we called the crash of that too, but that's another story. So there's an audit one there, and there's more here. If you just scroll through the menu here, it's not that big. You'll find other audits here. Now, if you want to learn about the underlying bias of the market, which I've been meaning to get to, I do have a roadmap package. It's very low cost, and it'll show you exactly how to read the underlying bias along with key levels, institutional buying and selling and exhaustion levels combined with our Boomerang exhaustion levels, all the stuff that I use to day trade with 70-80% winners, most of the time, 90% winning days most of the time, 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10. How many traders do you know have had 83 winning days in a row? In my 30 years of trading, I've never heard of a single trader, a single hedge fund trader of futures we're talking about, or any one of these CTIs, commodity trading, CTAs. I've never heard of anybody having 83 winning days in a row. We did in the room, and we're continuing that, and we keep working on it. It's an ongoing chess game, but we must be doing something right to break that record. 83. You got to picture 83 winning days in a row. After a while, it's like you just kind of go, okay, well, another winning day, you know. But you shouldn't think that way in futures because it can be very risky. Very risky. Anyway, we give practical advice to how to add constant lines on NinjaTrader in your chart. All kinds of stuff in there. You'll like it. Hyper Scalp comes with Boomerang as a free gift. If you want to buy it in the next couple days, email me. I'll send you my Hyper Scalp indicator, which is mind blowing. I wouldn't trade without it, and we'll throw that in as a free gift if you want to buy Boomerang. It's only Boomerang. You can purchase it right here. It's only 11.95, which is peanuts. You trade and make a couple trades, you get it all back. Then you own it for life. We became really popular, one of the most popular and widely used in the world, simply because it works. People go, God, I go try other things. They spend money and try other things. But the thing is, they go, I always come back to Boomerang because it works. Isn't that all we want, really? Anyway, the underlying bias is very important. And I think we have a shift now where that underlying bias is going to start shifting to more of a buy. Now, notice today the Dow was only down 38 points after two big up days. Yeah, Nas got creamed into the close, but that's when they often say. But all day, they were, it wasn't as strong, but they were still goosing it up. And now I told traders right when we opened, it was a little late because I did my homework at night and I said the market's overcooked now on the upside. Watch for selling fluidity today. Yesterday there wasn't any selling fluidity. There was barely a 2 or 3 point pullback, but on Globex they started working them lower. And I saw this before the room opened. We opened at 10 o'clock my time. This is a West Coast chart, or 7 o'clock. 10 o'clock. That's New York time. So then they started hammering them, and we bought them down here. They hammered them pretty righteously, which was that overbought upside from yesterday finally. But look at this. This is what I want to show you. We bought them at, if I recall, it was around 02, 68.02. We goosed them up for 8 points on that. It just took an 8 point trade, and I know they kept going. We don't care about that. We just want our paycheck. That produces on 4 contracts, that produces a $600 paycheck. So that's a pretty good deal. You want to grab those. Grab that paycheck and come back tomorrow and trade. But I'm showing you that after that exhaustion from yesterday, the sell-off, if it was still kind of bearish, they would have kept hammering them, which they've been doing the last few weeks. More hammering, more. But look now, they brought them all the way back up. A little bit of selling off. They kept going, and yeah, into the close, they got a little weaker in the last few hours. They took them back up again, and then sold them off some. But the point is, and if you scrunch this up, it was not much of a pullback in relation to the whole picture at all. About 3 weeks ago, I told everyone, we had sold out of our short ETFs, the SDS and QID, covered them up, protected the portfolio, made some money on them. I said, now I want to go long. Start reloading your stocks. It was at a certain point. I have the date on record somewhere. It was a while back. And I said, we're going to start buying the long S&P, which is this right here. See, I keep them running all the time on a separate screen. I have so many different things running. SSO, that's the double long. See, that's the one of my favorite companies for these things. ProShares. These guys are really brilliant. ProShares. ProShares Ultra S&P means double the S&P. So we bought them at right around $101. Some got them on a little dip under 100, $101. Now they're 110.67. Well, they were up over, they're 111.50 I think today. The point is, this is S&P trading. We're just, in my view, my call was that we're going to be bullish going in to at least the end of this new quarter we just started. That's 3 months from now. And maybe to the middle quarter, and maybe, who knows, getting through the summer. Maybe towards the end of the year they'll keep cranking them up. But for right now, all I'm concerned about is this next quarter, seeing that. And what I'm saying is that this stuff that we saw today looks like the beginning, possibly. And I know all the arguments, or most of them, that I've heard for why the market's going to go tank and all that. I think so too, but guess what? After we get one more thrust to the upside, so maybe summertime, maybe after that, there'll be certain signs, and rest assured, in my room, I'll be working day and night to make sure and call that topping area and get us out of Dodge on the uh, SSO, which I'm forecasting will hopefully get them up to around 130 bucks. Hey, that's a 30% return on an investment. That's a very good deal. Not all investments are going to be killers. But that brings me to the next part of the webinar, because I want to wrap it up pretty soon and take any questions of, and that is, in our room, we have recommended, uh, we've been recommending stocks for a while. It's been part of it. We've had, carefully listen, 95% winning trade picks that I've made, that we've opened them and closed them out. 95% winners. Can you think of any stock newsletter or stock picking service that you've been in, if you've been a long time trader, that's had 95% winners? You're shaking your head. No, I can see it right through the screen there. Of course you haven't. They don't exist. As far as I know, in my 30 years of subscribing to dozens and dozens of newsletters, going through all the usual stuff everybody does, try this guy, try that guy. Well, let me try that one. That was no good. That one was boring. That one was a farce. That one was pretty good, but not worth the money, the 300 bucks a year, whatever. Included free. There's the F word, the good F word. Free with my 149 service. The lowest day trading room cost in the industry is our stock picking service. And I've got a brand new one for you today that I recommended the room. The oil, you can see the oil. We were showing you on the chart. The oil's kicking up pretty strong here, right? They pulling them back a little bit. They're just goosing that oil. Look at the oil today. Oil's strong. America's now the leader in oil production. How do you like that? So they, like in the past when we were slaves of the Middle East, they are always manipulating the oil price. Well, now guess who's going to manipulate? The top chief expert manipulators, the United States. Anyway, oil's going to be around for a while before it gets replaced, ideally someday. If they hadn't stolen Tesla's ideas, we would have had free energy way back when, but that's a whole other story. You can look it up on the internet. Tesla had developed a system, free energy for all companies, all homes, everybody. They stole his idea and got rid of him. Not trying to be conspiratorial, but you should, you hear this word all the time, Tesla, Tesla, because of that car and that funny guy that's running that car company. But you should know who Tesla was. Absolute brilliant, amazing person. And they stole his idea, and you can look it up. I don't want to tell you. You just look it up, and there's nice videos about it on there. But we're not going to have free energy because the people that own and control this world, they don't want us. They want to make money off us as long as they can, and then they pass it on to their families and to their families and their families. The point is, take advantage of the rising oil prices. Tortoise Energy Infrastructure Corporation, these are the top oil and gas partnerships in one simple to use ETF. Now there's two advantages to that. It's one price, one deal. You don't have to manage all these different ones. Oh, I'm going to get out of EDP for a while, but I'm going to buy some more of this one, or I'm going to buy some more of that one. All the best ones are in there, managed by professionals who know them. And while you're waiting, you can see it right here, 9.4%, 9.42% dividend. When I originally recommended this and bought this myself years ago, I've been holding it for years. I'm not going to give it up. I'm going to hang on to it forever probably. It was paying 7%. I've seen it as high as 12. The dividend fluctuates. The price does a little, but it's pretty darn steady. And it's a very good deal. 9.42% right now. If you want to play oil, you can do two things. You can join my room and scalp trade Boomerang, which has an average of 3 to 7 winners a day, 3 to 7 trades a day with 90% winning trades. You can trade oil that way and make quick cash to pay bills and mortgage and have some fun with, buy the kids some pizza, take the wife out to dinner, or you wonderful women in our trading room, take your husbands out to dinner and, show them that, hey, you were right in deciding to join Mohan's live trading room. But you can also get this nice conservative, tuck some money away banks. The best money market funds I've seen are paying just a smidgen over 2%, 9.42%. It's going to have a little price fluctuation, but you're gaining in the price too with the rise in crude oil and all these things. So that's one pick for you right there today. It's a good deal. Brand new one here. You can also consider, you'll have to look up and research this one yourself, but it's called Easterly Government Properties. This ETF, or this stock, I'm sorry, pays a 5.12% dividend. All that this company leased to is government people. And I don't think the IRS or the CIA or the FBI and these guys are going to go out of business anytime soon. They have long-term leases with these big government outfits, and you buy it for the dividend. And right in this price area here right now, 20.43 today, you want to get them under 21, but ideally a little dip under 9 or under 20 would be good, but or right in here, start here and maybe add a little to it. But I put this chart up because I want to show you, yeah, there's some fluctuation, but guess what? I mean, not much. It just started, the company just started in, I think it was like mid 2015, yeah. So the floor is after it ran up, everybody realized what a solid deal this is for an income, Millionaires need, you got a Brad Pitt type fellow, all that. They just had another, underlined, another winning movie. Oh, gee, another 20 million I got a stash. They don't put it in high risk stuff. Their managers put it in stuff that like this. That's very conservative because you got to picture what 5% a year is on $10 million. I won't tell you. I'll let you do the math. It'll shock you. The guy doesn't even need to make movies, but that's what they do. They're under contract, right? But 17 bucks on the low, right? And where did it go? Went up to 22 bucks. You're not looking for price, you're just looking for that dividend. So you're buying them here 20 and a half area tomorrow, maybe a little lower, but look at your risk is what's 18 bucks has got a floor here, 19 here. You're not looking for it to go to $50 or so. You just want to get it for the dividend, just like the oil stock I showed you. So that was pretty cool. I just gave you two really nice tips there, free of charge. Didn't even have to join the room to get those. Good deals you can look them into. I think you'll like them. Now, something I got to show you. I got to show you this because we started just about a month ago on March 3rd, last month. I added penny stocks to the additional free bonus services in my Day Traders Action room. Penny stocks. That's right. This was our first pick, FUSZ. This is going to be a huge winner. This is a real disruptor in the advertising agency, and Oracle's a partner with them, and they are going to pump their services to the moon. They haven't even started yet. And Anthony Robbins was the first big name who just started running his video ads. You see video ads? This gives the opportunity to click on the video and order right off the video. Now you click on the video and you have to look up the company, or you can click to go on their site, and then you got more stuff. You can order it right off the video. How easy is that? Like, for example, Anthony Robbins, you see he's giving a seminar and you want to go. Click on the video, click, 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 boom, you own a ticket, you're in. Amazing. And it brings up a telephone if you want, and you can dial their office from your internet. It's pretty astounding technology. FUSE. We bought them live in the room. I recommend them at 35 cents. 35 cents. They made a new high yesterday, $2.45. Over 600% return in about 6 weeks. On this pullback, I told everybody they went down, they dipped them down to around This is the first pullback. Um, Let me see what check that low there. It was around 80 cents. Yes, 77. I told everybody it was live in the room. I said, "Here's your chance. Buy them here. 80 cents. 77 was a low on this area and this dip in here. So 80 cents, 240. What is that? 300% return. It's going to be a $5 stock. I'm expecting in the next month or two. When word gets out and the industry doesn't know it yet, you didn't know it. I just told you about it. And wow, they got a partnership with Oracle and Salesforce, and all these companies are subscribing to this service in spades by the thousands. Just mathematics. It's going to be a big winner. So that's a little too late to get into, but they're piling on it right now. A lot of late people. But if you want to take some risk, you can get in on any kind of pullback to $2.10 or whatever. But I just wait for my next pick. You're going to have to find out what that is to join the room, but I wanted to show you FUSZ. Look it up. You can take a chance and buy it here if you want and hang on for dear life. But if it goes, what I'm expecting, at least a $5 to $7 stock in the next, I got to be conservative here, 6 months, maybe 3 or 4. If it catches fire, it could ramp up there real quick. So, just keep that in mind. Another free good ideas for you here at Moen. I always walk the talk and prove it. And if you put it on your in your tray there and you check it in 6 months and it's $12, you'll go, doggone it. He told me to buy it. He bought it at 35 cents and then again at 80 cents. Oh my God, one of those deals. That's trading. We're just trying to have a little fun here. So with that in mind, that's our webinar I wanted to present to you today. All these different services we have, how to understand the underlying bias by getting my roadmap program. We have these brand new 2 secret weapons. I gave you the secret of trading. Here's the big secret. People say, what's the big secret? And everybody goes, oh no, it's so common. Price and volume. Volume front runs price. The momentum of the volume and the momentum of the price are the key to knowing where those are going. If you can read the volume and the momentum, which is like the volume, the momentum of the volume, you'll see that in most cases it front runs price. Gee, that means you can know where the price is going before it turns. Did you catch that? What is the goal of every single trader I've ever met in 30 years of trading, including trading 50,000 traders? Boy, if I only knew when the market was going to turn, if I only knew when that run up was going to stop and it was going to switch and then drop back the other way, if I only knew when that bottom was coming in and everybody it looks like it bought as they're spiking lower, how do you do that? I just told you. And I built you 2 incredible $1 million indicators to read that action. And they're only 195 bucks each. If you want to buy them both, email me. I'll give you a special deal. I highly encourage you to add those to your trading. You got to use Ninja to have them. But if you're using Ninja and you don't own Boomerang yet, for God's sakes, at least get my volume, momentum, price, momentum, primo, and volumo, and my price pressure bands. Email me. I'll give you a special deal on all three. And whatever other chart stuff you're using, Boomerang tells you exactly where to get in, has all these things, but if for whatever reason you want to try the stuff, these 3 key things out for a couple $100, shoot me an email, and I'll be more than happy to set you up. We're just here to help you. Makes a little money, of course. Got to keep things running. Got to keep the show on the road. But I'm going to go ahead and type in my email just so you have that handy. Mohan at daytradersaction.com. All right, so now if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to cover those while we're here live in the webinar. And of course, you have my email, and I'm going to shrink this down as much as I can so that you can email me if you have any questions later that pop up. I'm always here. I'm a friendly guy. I'm here to help you learn how to trade and not lose a lot of money, keep your marriage intact and everything else. Trust me, if you don't know how to operate your brain on trading, you don't know how to operate your trade platform really good, which most traders are real good at, but you don't have the right tools which I'm offering you the best in the business and the right training for how to operate your brain. We do all that here at for peanuts compared to what you could lose. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Thanks very much for joining us today, and I'll sure look forward to seeing you in the future in the market action.